Hi, I'm Christopher DeMartini with RackWare. Today I'll be taking you through your first migration to IBM Cloud. Let's start off in the IBM Cloud. We're going to make the assumption that all of your prereqs have been accomplished and the RMM has been deployed. Heading over to my virtual server instances, you'll see here I've deployed my RMM in my default VPC. Important to remember to attach the appropriate storage. Once the RMM is up and running fully, you can get to the website of the RMM by webbing to the IP provided. Starting at the dashboard, I'm going to double check my prerequisites and make sure that everything has been complete to avoid any sort of issues later. Then, always want to start with setting up an environment. This is going to be my target environment and allows me to talk to IBM VPC. Going to select the region that we're working in and the key. Simple enough. This may take a minute or two. As we wait for that to build, we're going to start by creating our first job or wave. Today we're going to be moving a Red Hat instance, and I'm going to choose the IBM template. You'll see that our environment is now successfully created as well. I'm going to select auto provision for this migration. Select the environment we just created, again the region, as well as my VPC name and subnet. Communication is absolutely critical to any project. Now let's add the source host. Auto provision was already selected based upon our earlier settings. I'm going to put the IP address of the machine that we're working with that is currently in another cloud at this moment. Friendly name is just a descriptive name for the source. And how we connect to that machine, which is SSH. And we have set this up during our prereqs. Now for the target, we're going to utilize stage 1 and 2 today. Just going to bring over a backup file of that image and then boot it for us. The friendly name, again, your description. This will actually be placed in the IBM VPC cloud, so make sure that whatever parameters you use, it's going to be displayed in VPC. I'm actually going to do this so I can remember to delete it afterwards for the demo. And the image name of the image that we are creating on the RMM. Now before we close out, we want to check our sync options. There are several options here. There are not even the full list. You can actually upload an Excel doc. If you have any changes or adds or moves or bandwidth limitations, etc., they can all be set here for while we're doing the move or before boot in the new environment. And then lastly, our VPC options. As I mentioned before, communication is critical. So you want to predefine these so that way there's no communication issues communicating from the RMM to the new target host when we boot it. So I'm happy there. Click Add Host. Gives me a little summary. And my wave's been created. As soon as the wave's created, you're going to be brought to the dashboard for this specific machine. Now we do have ways to do bulk machines at the same time, but for this demo today, we're just going to look at one single machine to make it simpler. You'll see here, this is also the environment that I set up. So we're going to communicate with VPC based upon that profile. And let's kick this off. It's as simple as that. So the wave has been started. I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and then we'll be back to show you the finished instance. Okay, we're back, and you'll see the job has been successful. A couple of things I want to point out here. Of course, the success notification and how long it actually took us to move that workload. Not a large machine, it was just a small instance, but this was actually moved from another cloud provider to IBM across the public internet. You'll see here the new machine name that I created during the wave creation, as well as the IP address that VPC has assigned this new machine. You may actually notice I actually fat-fingered the IP address on the first time I built the wave. The RMM immediately notified me when I kicked off that job that it couldn't SSH that IP address, so I double-checked my work and put the proper IP address in here, and that's the job that was successful. Scrolling down, a couple of things again to notice. We're going to give you a summary of each stage of the process. So this is great, not only just to verify everything's been complete, but also if you do have any missteps during the process, it tells you exactly where we're actually having a disconnect. And lastly, I want to bring you over back to your virtual server instances and show you this machine actually created in VPC. Here you go. You'll notice the delete next to it, as well as the IP address that we have from the RMM dashboard. So again, that's your first wave setup and your first move. Pretty simple.